Hey Stampin' friends, this is Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Diego, California, where it is hot today and humid. So we're inside with the fans on and feeling good. I'm surprised myself. I got actually on time because, of course, like they like to do it, Facebook likes to randomly decide that they're going to change the way things are set up. And when I try to go live, suddenly it's like, oh, who moved the button? Who moved the thing? What's going on? Thanks for telling us. This one was actually an easy one. Hey, Vicki, glad you could join me. Haven't really started anything, just talking about how hot it is today, and I'm sure where you are, it's even hotter. But anyway, what's new with Stampin' Up! Today? So a couple new things started, I think it was last week, with some new celebration items for spending $50 or $100, and we'll go over some of those. And then if you're a demonstrator, you can now buy some dies for products in the new catalog as well as in the annual catalog that didn't have dies before. Hi Doris, thanks for watching with me. And so that's exciting. And then continuing until all these things are just till the end of the month with Celebration anyway. Celebration has a joining special. I don't have the exciting thing to show you, but there's a new planner. That's exciting. Comes with these little booklets and a stamp set to stamp in the planner to keep you up to date. So if you're a planner kind of person and you got $100 worth of or more of Stampin' Up! That you want to buy right now, it's a great time to join, and then you can just say, you know, that's all I want to do. Or you can go on to, you know, hold classes, etc. Most of us who join just join because we want a 20% discount. So, but you never know. I mean, who knew 6 years ago when I joined that I was going to not only have classes, but do this. Anyway, and then for anybody who's local, I still have some room in my Gnome class that is this coming Sunday afternoon. And that's what we're going to be doing today, is one of the cards that we're going to be doing Sunday in the Gnome class. So, hey Robbie, good to have you watching. So I'm going to put you down so I can show you a couple things and then we'll make a card. So first thing, I'm hoping this is okay because I actually haven't gotten you guys up yet on my, there we go. Anyway, so first thing is these new celebration items that are just coming up now. Obviously, it's still going to be while supplies last. So some of these, like I said, are in the annual catalog, like the timber embossing folder. These are the $50 ones. The timber embossing folder, the gingham embossing folder that we're going to use today, the seashells embossing folder, and the brushed metallic gold, as well as the brushed metallic silver foil paper, again free with $50 purchase. Oh, and the craft gifts boxes. And then there's a bunch of dies that are now free with a $100 purchase. Flowers of Home dies, dots and spots dies, daffodil dies, and like all of these except for this one, these aspen tree dies. All of these are in the annual catalog. The aspen tree dies are in the July through December catalog. So that's exciting. And then the other thing that's new is, hey Sandy, glad you could join us, is this Perfect Partners. Can you see that? Let me move it down a little bit. Like I said, this is only if you're a demonstrator for now, but coming 1st of September, just for the month of September, is dies for things that didn't have dies in the catalog, and they're now releasing some dies. So they are the Apple and Blossoms dies, Fresh Cut Stem dies, and then our little piggies have dies now, and our tree trimming, these are from the annual catalog, have dies. I've seen people making some really pretty things with these dies already. The waterfall dies, and then the Yeti, that's in the July through December catalog. So if your Yeti wants to party, you can now cut him out. And this, I haven't seen too many people using these waterfall dies yet, but now that there's dies with it, and look at all these other little grass and trees and whatever that go with your little waterfall die. That's a ton of extra dies. So that's exciting. So, like I said, we're going to be using the Gnome, Kindest Gnome stamp set and the dies. And actually, here, let's bring the card in. The paper that we're using is the Rings of Love paper that's free with Celebration. I think it just came back in. They were out of it for a while, but they do have some back in. And then we're using this this gingham paper from the Gingham Cottage, and that's the one that comes in this humongous packet of, it's like a, I don't know, a triple or quadruple packet. Anyway, so that's what we're making today. So we got our gnome, but if you'll notice, he's sitting on a giant pumpkin because we're wishing cooler weather with fall. And that pumpkin came from the Hello Harvest bundle, which is a wonderful fall kind of bundle. So, what do you guys think? We got gnomes meeting Hello Harvest, so that's where we're off to today. Okay, so let's bring in all our little stuff. Let's start with, this is crushed curry cardstock, and again you can see I just picked up in this fall paper from the Rings of Love. I just picked up some of the colors that are in there, and what I did is where's my little, there it is, got this paper cut as a 4x4. Let me move this out of the way now. And then you'll see that it overlaps. This one is, I think, a 2-inch, 2-inch by 4. And I decided to make it overlap so it would give it a little more strength in here to put a little ribbon around. So I found the easiest way to make sure that this was right was just to kind of lay it here and use just a little bit of glue. And kind of, like I said, put it where you want it. And then kind of just slide it on up like that. And that way it's gonna be straight when you glue it down. And then we have our little gold shimmer ribbon. And we want just enough to kind of go around there. And then I've been lately liking to use some tear-in tape along the back to make sure that my ribbon is going to stay in place. So kind of look where it's going to be. And obviously, you know, it's going to help hold the card together also. Sometimes I use my fingers, sometimes this works even better, the little take your pick tool to kind of get underneath there. And notice too that I really burnish this down, and that helps me to have it not rise up when I'm trying to pick just the paper off. I have noticed in the past that I've had trouble doing that, and I pull it and then the whole, you know, other stuff comes up. And ever since I started just burnishing it better, it seemed to work better. So I don't really have any glue or anything on the front, but by having a large piece of that tear-in tape on the back, I can just kind of fold this back and it'll hit it. Okay, and like I said, yeah, a lot of it sticks out. That's only good, right? Because it's gonna help stick this paper down. So let's move it over just a little bit more. Okay, so that seems like it's gonna work good. All right, so let's do a little stamping. So this is for our pumpkin. I think we need to get this little piece out of the way. What did I do with my pumpkin punch? Hold, please. Oh, jeez. It's not a pumpkin punch. Silly me. It is a pumpkin die. That's why I'm calling my pumpkin punch. Because it's not a punch. Are you guys yelling that at me right now? No. You're waiting for me to find my punch? Remember we had that punch that could make you an apple, or it could make you a pumpkin. That's what I was thinking, but that's not it. We have a die. Silly. All right, so let's get stamping. So sometimes with these bigger ones, I'm finding it easier to just turn it over and ink it like this. All right, so we have that. Perfect. And then, so we'll need that die for that. And then we will need there we go, a gnome stamp. I went with the little gnome that's sitting, so he can be sitting and on top of our little pumpkin. And then the only other thing we need to stamp is our sentiment. So this is a little die cut from this little one right here from the Stylish Shapes dies, which I'm using a lot of. You can tell by how messy they are on here. And we are going to use, I wanted to make a birthday card because I know somebody who's coming to our little thing on Sunday likes birthday cards. So I found a little teeny happy birthday on my art gallery stamp set. So that, and then the only other thing that needs a little stamping is the little inside piece. So let's get us an inside piece. And there are these little teeny, I don't even know what you call them, almost like a little filigree. Is that what you would call it? That I wanted to just put in the corners. And that's just one of the little Dooley Bopper stamps that are in the gnome set, that if you didn't even notice, you'd go, I don't even get what that's for, but I think it's for just like I used it, a little decoration here. So I am going to just go ahead and put that inside before I lose it. Now it's ready for my greeting. And then we need to do some cutting out and etc. So bring it on the big boss. So we have, whoops, a couple things to go through, and I will quite commonly do this where I will have several things to cut out, and I will just run them all through at the same time. Just save a little arm strength, especially if I'm cutting out stuff like for a class or something. I will often, let's move this into where you can see it. Now we need, I believe it's this gnome. Got to get the right gnome here. You know, when I'm cutting out a lot of different little things for my class, because my class people have said to me, we're okay if you cut it out. We know how to cut out, so we don't feel the need to cut every single thing ourselves. So if you feel the need to have lots of little pieces, go ahead and cut them out for us. And that's how I end up doing a lot of cutting. And so when I do it, I will often run things through like this together. All right. So now we have the pumpkin that's all cut out. Of course, this is not a big deal to cut this pumpkin out yourself if you were gonna, well, fussy cut it. And then we have a little gnome here who's also nicely cut out. So the next thing we want to do is we have this little piece that was cut out with those same stylish shapes out of So Saffron, and we are going to run it through our gingham embossing folder. So this is, well, hopefully you can see it, one of the things that you can get now for free with a $50 order. So I'm taking off the little white one that goes on here. This is a regular embossing folder. It is not a 3D embossing folder. So that's what my little sandwich looks like. The two clear ones and the base plate. And I just can't believe still when I'm using this how smoothly and quietly stuff goes through on this new thing. I guess I'm still excited about it. All right, and so now, hopefully you can see this. It's cut out, like I said, with the stylish shapes, and then it's embossed with the gingham embossing folder. Whenever you're going to cut something out and emboss it, always cut it out first, or you're going to potentially just smush it. Okay, so the only thing we have left to do is color our little Gnome. So I've got some, is this dark? Yep, dark soft suede to color his little shoes. And again, I picked up these colors from what was in the Rings of Love paper. Now it was crushed curry in here, but I don't have a crushed curry blend, so I have a Daffodil Delight blend, and it worked pretty well as far as I'm concerned. Now these little areas are so small for coloring that I'm not worrying so much about doing any sort of real blending. And this is Light Night of Navy. It's interesting, they say Night of Navy is in here. To me, don't tell anyone, it looks more like Misty Moonlight. I mean, that's what I saw when I looked at it anyway. And I think it's interesting that somebody seems to have liked it too, because to me Misty Moonlight was kind of like a little lighter version of our navy. All right, and we got a little dark petal pink for his nose. Not really worrying about his eyes so much. And then the only thing that really got, I used a little gray on his beard, And all I did was color a little gray. Basically where they put the lines, I'm just going over those little lines. He's a middle-aged gnome. To me, gnomes all seem old anyway. So the only thing I really shaded a little on was his hat. So what I did was just kind of come in from the side over here, come in from the side over here, a little more. Again, try not to go over the line, so you want to even, you know, this actually does push it a little bit, so you do want to kind of, oh great, this is the dark one, so let's just go over all of that again. Apparently what I picked up before was the lighter one, so we'll just go over our dark, what are supposed to be the darker ones, and then I do it with little circles like this. I just find that that blends in those edges a little bit better. And then you kind of sometimes don't even notice it until it dries. And just lift a bit of color. I just take it off like that in the center. And I also, if you didn't see how what it's doing, it's lightening it up. We'll just take that and see if we can get some of these little boo-boos out. If I can't, I'm not going to worry too much about it. So see how it's kind of got a gradation of colors here. And it'll continue to lighten up a little bit on those places where you use the color lifter for a while. So a few dimensionals on here, a few dimensionals on here. All right, so on this other card, oh, I cut out a little bit of these little, I don't know, viney looking things for our pumpkin too. If you'll notice on this card, I put this square, and I think on this card, I'm actually going to run it on a diagonal like that. Let's make sure I leave some room here for my birthday, and I guess I need to make sure I actually have room enough to do that. I think I do. All right, so let's put this down. And like I said, we'll kind of go diagonal here. All right, I think I went a little too crazy with my color lifter because it's blurring some of the edges, but I'm not going to bore you with trying to color this all over again. All right, so he's going to sit up here like this. See, once you get him in here, you won't really notice. And so I'm going to want these little vines to kind of come out like that. Let's see, do I want that edge out? Or do I want, I think I want that edge out. So I'm going to kind of just put them where I want them. And then just pick them up one at a time. I'm not trying to get glue everywhere on here, but just this part that's going to be under, and if there's maybe a big spot like that that has room. Same with this, mostly glue on the part that's going underneath your little Gnome guy. And know that this will dry clear, but I still usually just take my finger and do that so that there's less glue on there. The other way to do it, we haven't done this in a while, is take your silicone mat and put a blob of glue on it, and then just use something to pick up the glue that way and put it on. I'll have to remember to do that next time to show you again. And then let's get our little Gnome here back on his throne, his pumpkin throne. We'll get our happy birthday ready. Do any of you have the little Gnomies yet? Oh, we got a bunch of people now. Hi, Zana or Zana, I'm not sure which way you say it. And Doris and Brenda, we got a lot of people watching today. Wonderful. I think I'll move it down just a smidge. So there we have it, our little happy birthday gnome. What do you guys think? Do we have a preference on our little background? The square versus the diamond, I guess, kind of look. Actually, I think they're both cute. That's why I just decided second time around I would spice it up by changing it a little bit. Anna with the Z. All right, Zana. Good, very nice. I learned a new name today. All right, guys, so that is it for making a card today. If you came on late, as soon as we're done, it'll get posted. You can also always watch me on Stamp with Dr. Robin on my YouTube channel. It's basically the same card. I'll just upload this film over there, or if that's just easier for you, that's great. I would love it if you would click that little subscribe button, because that makes YouTube happy and makes it easier for people to find me. So anyways, otherwise I will see you back here next Monday at 1 o'clock. Don't know what we'll be making then. Got to figure that out as we go. But hopefully you're having a happy Monday. I guess I can put you back up here. If you have any questions or you want to order some gnomes, let me know. If you're going to be in San Diego this weekend and you want to come to my little gnome class, you can make this yourself. And we'll have a lot of fun. We laugh a lot. So have a great week and happy stamping. Take care, everybody. Bye.